Welcome to the overview video of all picks for UFC 317. On this card there are two title fights. In the main event we have Ilia Topuria fighting Charles Oliveira for the light heavyweight title. And the co-main event between Alexandra Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France for the flyweight title. And in this video we will go over all the picks that have been made for those two fights and the rest of the card by the YouTube Prediction Channels. And as you might have seen from the thumbnail, instead of just tracking the picks, I'm now also tracking all the method of victory predictions from the YouTube Prediction Channels. So without further ado, let's get started with the early prelims. Opening UFC 317, we have a fight in the middleweight division between Jackson McVey and Christopher Ewert. This fight was put together only one day ago, because Cedric Dumas withdrew from this fight and Christopher Ewert is replacing him last minute. Christopher Ewert is the favorite with minus 155 and plus 130, McVey the underdog. Although McVey is the underdog, he is the big favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 78%. Half of them predict he will win via decision. And also the YouTube Prediction Channels disagree with the Oddsmakers. 27 out of 40 pick McAfee to win for 67%. The best predictors over the last 12 months have picked both of them 2 out of 4 for 50%. So not a lot of picks from the best predictors, but that's because this fight was only added one day ago. The best favorite predictors is also 2 out of 4 and the best underdog predictors have it 4 out of 5 for McVey. Now let's see which method of victories are predicted for each fighter. 5 out of 22 channels have predicted a KO TKO for Christopher Ewert and only 1 for McVey. 10 out of 22 channels pick McVey to win via submission. And 3 channels have picked each fighter to win by a decision. Because this is the first week that I've started to track method of victory predictions, there are no best method of victory predictors. When we have more data and results, we will add them in the future. And also, I will make it look more nice for the next event, because this week I simply didn't have enough time. But the most important thing, you have the data. The second fight is in the heavyweight division between Jhonata Diniz and Alvin Hines. With minus 340 in average odds, Jhonata Diniz is the big favorite and Hines the underdog with plus 265. 85% of Tapology are picking Diniz to win and most have predicted he will win via KO TKO. And we see the same result in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 79 out of 89 pick him to win for 89%. 7 out of 8 of the best predictors over the last 12 months picked Diniz to win, and the best predictors on favorite fighters in odds have it 9 out of 9 for 100%. And the best predictors on underdogs have picked the underdog Alvin Hines 1 out of 8. Now let's look at the method of victory predictions for this fight. 48 out of 55 channels that made a method of victory prediction picked Diniz to win via KO TKO for 87%. And only one channel, Real Sports Bet Picks, has predicted Hines to win by KO TKO. We have 0 predictions for a submission and a total of 6 for a decision, with 4 for Diniz and 2 for Hines. The last fight on the early prelims is in the welterweight division between Niko Price and Jacobe Smith. And Smith is a huge favorite with minus 2150. And Niko Price has plus 1070, which gives you a payout of more than $1,000 over a $100 moneyline bet. 96% of the Tapology community have picked Jacobe Smith to win and most expect him to win via KO TKO, so a huge favorite. What about the YouTube Prediction Channels? Well, all of them have picked Jacobe Smith to win this fight against Niko Price, which automatically means he's also picked by the best predictors and the best favorite underdog predictors 100%. The only thing left to ask is how he will win this fight. 57 out of 58 prediction channels pick Jacobe Smith to win via KO TKO. And with average odds of minus 300, the bookmakers also expect this result. But we have one channel, MMA Lock of the Night, who has predicted that he will win via decision. Opening the prelims, we have a fight in the lightweight division between Terrance McKinney and Viacheslav Borshchev. McKinney is the favorite with minus 175 and with plus 145, Borshchev the underdog. Although he's not a big favorite in average odds, he is a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 82% and most are expecting he will win this fight via KO TKO. He's not such a big favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, but still the favorite. 62 out of 88 pick Terrance McKinney to win. The best predictors with the highest return on investment over the last 12 months pick Terrance McKinney 7 out of 8. And for the best predictors on favorite fighters, it's 6 out of 9. And the underdog Borshchev is picked by the best underdog predictors 2 out of 8. How do the YouTube prediction channels predict each fighter to win their fight? 21 out of 52 channels pick McKinney to win by a KO TKO and 9 for Borshchev. And 20 channels have picked McKinney to win via submission. and each fighter is only picked by one channel to win via the scorecards. If you enjoy the content and find it helpful or informative, then don't forget to like this video or subscribe. Thank you so much. Up next, we have a fight between Viviane, Araujo and Tracy Cortez. Cortez is the big favorite with minus 260 and with plus 205, Viviane the underdog. Cortez is also the big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 88%, and almost all of them expect this fight to go to the scorecards. And almost the same results with the YouTube prediction channels. 74 out of 89 pick Cortez to win for 83%. The best predictors have it 7 out of 9, the best favorite predictors 8 out of 9, and the best underdog predictors pick the underdog Viviane 1 out of 9. For method of victory, only 2 channels pick Cortez to win via submission. And a total of 50 channels expect that this fight will go to the scorecards, with 9 for Viviane and 41 for Tracy Cortez. The next one is a fight in the featherweight division between Hyder Amil and Jose Delgado. Delgado is the slight favorite with minus 165 and Amil the underdog with plus 135. The Tapology community disagree with the odds makers, and Hyder Amil is a pretty big favorite with 77% of the picks. Most are predicting he will win via decision or a KO/TKO. The YouTube prediction channels also disagree with the odds makers, although he's not such a big favorite here with 56 out of 89 for 63%. And the best predictors over the last 12 months also have Hyder Amil as the favorite with 5 out of 8. The best predictors on favorite fighters pick the favorite Delgado 5 out of 9. But the underdog, Hyder Amil, is picked by the best underdog predictors 7 out of 9. So those picks are a bit all over the place. For method of victory, 3 out of 54 pick Hyder Amil to win by a KO/TKO and 10 for Delgado. None pick Amil to win via submission and only 2 Delgado. But most of the channels expect Hyder Amil to win via decision with 30 out of 54 and 9 out of 54 for Delgado to win via decision. The future fight of the prelims is between Jack Hermansson and Gregory Rodriguez in the middleweight division. And the favorite in odds is Gregory Rodriguez with minus 220 and plus 180 for the underdog Jack Hermansson. In picks by the Tapology community, this fight is pretty close. 60% go with Rodriguez and 40% for Hermansson. And most are predicting Rodriguez to win via KO/TKO and Hermansson to win via decision. Gregory Rodriguez is a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 65 out of 90 expect him to win for 72%. And also the best predictors favor him with 6 out of 8 and 6 out of 9 for the best favorite predictors. And the underdog Jack Hermansson is picked by the best underdog predictors 2 out of 8. So most are expecting Gregory Rodriguez to win. But by which method? 22 out of 56 channels have predicted Rodriguez to win via KO/TKO and 0 for Jack. One channel, Artem MMA, picked Rodriguez to win via submission and 0 for Jack Hermansson. And for a decision win, it's pretty close between the two of them, with 15 out of 56 for Hermansson and 17 out of 56 for Rodriguez. Opening up the main card, we have a fight in the bantamweight division between Peyton Talbott and Felipe Lima. And the favorite is Felipe Lima with minus 190 and with plus 155 Peyton Talbott the underdog. Lima is also the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 70% versus 30% for Talbott. And most predict that Talbott wins via KO/TKO and Lima to win via decision. In picks by the YouTube prediction channels, Felipe Lima is even a bigger favorite with 74 out of 97 for 76%. The best predictors have it 7 out of 10 for Lima and the best favorite predictors 8 out of 10. And the underdog, Peyton Talbott, is picked by the best underdog predictors 2 out of 10. For method of victory, only 4 channels out of 60 go for a KO/TKO, 2 for each fighter. For submission, 0 for Talbott and 15 for Lima. And KO/TKO, we have 7 out of 60 for Talbott and 34 out of 60, so more than half for Felipe Lima. Then we go to the lightweight division for a fight between Beneil Dariush and Renato Moicano. And this fight is super close in odds. And as of now, basically even with minus 116 for Moicano and minus 103 for Dariush. Although it's basically even in odds, in picks by the Tapology community, Moicano is the favorite with 75% and 25% for Dariush. Most predict this fight will go to the scorecards. In picks by the YouTube prediction channels, just like the odds, it's really close. Dariush is the slight favorite with 50 out of 97 channels predicting he will win versus 47 for Renato Moicano. But when we look at the best predictors over the last 12 months, it's not that close, and Dariush is the favorite with 7 out of 10. And he's also the favorite in picks by the best favorite predictors with 6 out of 10 and the best underdog predictors 7 out of 10. But because this fight is so close in odds, we can kind of ignore the picks of the best favorite and underdog predictors. How have the YouTube prediction channels predicted each fighter to win their fight? For KO TKO, it's 11 out of 53 for Moicano and only 3 channels have picked Dariush. With submission, it's 0 for Dariush and only 1 for Moicano. So most of the channels have predicted that this fight will go to the scorecards. And 26 out of 53 have it for Dariush and 12 out of 53 for Moicano. Want to stay ahead with the latest picks, odds and stats for all fights while supporting the channel? Consider becoming a Buy Me a Coffee member or a Patreon supporter. After this video, every Friday and Saturday I update the latest stats with newly added picks from all UFC prediction channels, the best predictors and the most profitable favorite and underdog predictors. Updated odds, track how the betting lines shift daily. Tapology stats, see if the MMA community's picks are changing. Support the channel and get exclusive daily updates. Links are in the description. I'd really appreciate it. The next fight is in the flyweight division between Brandon Royval and Joshua Fenn. And just like the previous fight, this fight is also very close in odds and basically even. The slight favorite is Joshua Fenn with -122 and with +101 Brandon Royval, the underdog. In picks by the Tapology Community with 62%, Royval is the favorite and Joshua Fenn the underdog with 38. But no matter who wins, almost all of them expect this fight to go to the decision. Also in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, it's pretty close, but Brandon Royval is the slight favorite with 56 out of 97 channels picking him to win for almost 58%. And the best predictors over the last 12 months have picked each fighter 5 out of 10 for exactly 50%. And the exact same results with the best predictors on favorite fighters. Also 5 out of 10 for each. But the best underdog predictors have it 6 out of 10 for Brandon Royval. But again, because this fight is so close in average odds, we can kind of ignore the picks from the best favorite and underdog predictors. Let's take a look at the method of victory predictions for each fighter. Only a few channels are expecting a KO TKO in this fight, with 4 for Royval and 2 for Joshua Fenn. And only 2 have picked a submission for Brandon Royval. And 50 channels out of 58 are expecting that this fight will go to the judges, with 26 of them picking Brandon Royval and 24 Joshua Fenn. And then, for the co-main event of the evening, we have a fight for the flyweight title of the world between Alexandre Pantoja and Kai Kara-France. Pantoja is the favorite with -225 in average odds and Kai Kara-France the underdog with +200. Although Pantoja is not such a big favorite in average odds, he is a huge favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 90%. And most are predicting he will win this fight via decision. And also, the YouTube prediction channels have Pantoja as the big favorite. 84 out of 97 channels have picked Pantoja to win for 87%. Of the best predictors over the last 12 months, 7 out of 10 pick Alexandre Pantoja to win. The best predictors on favorite fighters pick the favorite Alexandre Pantoja 8 out of 10. And the underdog Kai Kara-France is picked by the best underdog predictors only 2 out of 10. So overall, most are expecting Alexandre Pantoja to keep his belt. But what have the YouTube channels predicted for each fighter to win their fight? Only one channel has predicted a KO TKO by Kara-France, which is MMA Joey. A lot of channels have picked Alexandre Pantoja to win by submission, 29 out of 57 for more than 50%, and 0 submission win predictions for Kai Kara-France. And also a lot of predictions for a win by decision for Alexandre Pantoja, 24 out of 57, and only 3 for Kai Kara-France. And then, for the main event of the evening, we have a fight between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira for the vacated lightweight world title. With -480 in average odds, Ilia Topuria is the huge favorite. And the underdog is Charles Oliveira with +360. Ilia Topuria is the big favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 81%. And most are expecting he will win this fight via KO TKO. But he's even a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, with 91 out of 97 channels picking him to win for 94%. And also, the best predictors over the last 12 months favor Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira with 8 out of 10. The big favorite Ilia Topuria is picked by the best favorite predictors 9 out of 10. And the underdog, Charles Oliveira, is picked by the best underdog predictors 2 out of 10. For the method of victory predictions, almost all of them have picked Ilia Topuria to win via KO TKO, with 53 out of 60 for 88%. And when you look at the odds, the odds makers expect the same, with minus 175 in odds. And only one channel, Mystic KO, picked Charles Oliveira to win via KO TKO. 4 channels have predicted a submission win, with 2 for Topuria and 2 for Oliveira. And only 2 out of 60 channels have predicted Ilia Topuria to win via decision. Let's look at some potential good betting opportunities on this card. The first one is Terrance McKinney. He is the favorite with minus 175, but is picked by the best predictors 7 out of 8 and the best predictors on favorite fighters 6 out of 9. And for method of victory for Terrance McKinney, it's 50-50 between KO TKO or a submission. But with odds of plus 295, submission gives you a much better price than plus 155 for KO TKO. But be careful with these statistics, because we've just started and we have no clue who is good at method of victory predictions. So as always, do your own research, and especially now when betting on method of victory. The next one is Felipe Lima with minus 190. He is the favorite, and he's also a big favorite in picks by the best predictors with 7 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 by the best favorite predictors. For method of victory of all the YouTube channels, 34 out of 60 pick him to win by a decision, which as of now have odds of plus 115, which is better than the minus 190 moneyline odds. And the last good potential betting opportunity is Benil Dariush. He's a tiny underdog with minus 103, so basically even, but is picked by the best predictors 7 out of 10 and the best favorite and underdog predictors 6 out of 10 and 7 out of 10. 26 out of 53 channels pick Dariush to win by a decision, so almost 50%. And the odds for win by decision for Dariush is plus 260, which is a lot better than the plus 103 moneyline odds. That was it for the overview video of all picks and method of victory predictions. I hope that you found the new method of victory predictions helpful and informative, and I'll be sure to make them look nicer for the next video. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and help me get to the 10,000 subscribers. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you want to support the channel and get some extra perks like daily updates on the latest picks and method of victory predictions, consider becoming a member on Buy Me a Coffee or a supporter on Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, have an awesome weekend, enjoy the fights, and I will see you in the next video.